call this press conference because of the events that took place today regards the elections. First of all of us have just come back from voting. I've just landed from the far end of Elgeyo Marakwet County, and for the record, I voted. And today is a very historic time, a historic day for us as a people of Kenya. It's an opportunity to exercise directly the sovereign power of the people as provided for in Article 1 of the Constitution. And that sovereign power has been exercised by Kenyans of all walks of life from different parts of the country. We in Jubilee are extremely excited insofar as the commitment and hard work of many Kenyans, both senior citizens and young voters who are voting for the first time or for the second time from the elections of August 8th. For the record, you know that former President Daniel Arap Moi, former President Mwai Kibaki, the Chief Justice Maraga, the Inspector General of the Police, and so many senior citizens, including former Minister Maina Wanjiki, have come out in public to try to show an example to the young Kenyans that the right to vote was part of the freedoms we fought for, and the freedoms we must protect. So today all of us are excited. We have exercised our right, and from where we stand, especially young politicians like ourselves, we don't think today was about just voting for Uhuru Kenyatta or any of the other 7 candidates. It was more of protecting our democracy and the rule of law and expressing the will of the people by exercising direct power. We thank the IEBC for the work they are doing and they continue to do. We understand that they are operating under very difficult circumstances caused by our former competitors who are the National Super Alliance. Before they became, they joined Joseph Kony and others as a rebel movement. Our colleagues have made it almost impossible in some areas for IEBC to operate, and we stand here to in solidarity with all young people, particularly in Luo Nyanza, in Homa Bay, Kisumu, Siaya, and Migori, who have been threatened, their homes marked. They were threatened not to participate in the elections as presiding officers or returning officers. And we stand here because democracy is on trial. We stand here because the greatest threat to democracy is threats of intimidation and violence as witnessed in those 4 counties. We want to thank the people of Kenya in all the remaining 43 counties, because even where they decided to exercise their right by abstaining from the elections, they did so with a lot of decorum, except to a few places, 1 or 2 polling stations, Mombasa, and attempts of disruptions in parts of Kitui, but and smaller parts of Nairobi. Otherwise, the rest parts of the country have done a tremendous job, with the exception of the 4 counties in Nyanza. We also want to note here with tremendous excitement that unlike what the prophets of doom were predicting, there is no violence in Kenya. There is no civilian who has taken arms to fight his brother or a sister. We, however, regret the incidences that led to the injuries and death and reported deaths, which were yet to be confirmed in some parts of the country where young people were paid to take stones, blockade roads, and attempt to cause violence and block roads, particularly Kisumu to Western roads and the roads in Migori. We regret, and we hope the police, as they continue dealing with these matters, will continue exercising restraint. We also stand in solidarity with the policemen whose lives are in danger because of such acts, and we pray that they will be safe and that both civilians and the police are going to be safe. We in Jubilee condemn in the utmost strongest terms any acts of violence because they are retrogressive and are taking our country back. But unlike the past, particularly 2007, 2008, our country has demonstrated immense maturity, and we want to thank our citizens for doing that. Now, to the matters that have been raised by our colleagues, we all know that the saying goes that he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. I have seen the statement read on behalf of Raila Odinga by Junaid Mohammed that says that the elections were not conducted, that the turnout was less than 30% and so forth. First of all, it's a confirmation that Raila Odinga didn't drop out of the race. Instead of formally dropping out of the race, he worked so hard to frustrate the elections. But his schemes have come to a naught. He has been working the whole day, calling and organizing boycotts, which have failed. And I can say failed terribly. Raila Odinga is a politician who has been there for more than 40 years. Instead of rising and ascending to the levels of Nelson Mandela and many other African statesmen, he is fast and furiously disintegrating to the levels of Joseph Kony. And yesterday was his lowest moment. To announce a national resistance movement, a rebel sort of organization that is meant to, first of all, divide communities and create tribalism and create division among Kenyans. I think, unfortunately, he has irreparably damaged his name and his legacy, and I don't think it can be repaired. Number two is to say that it's unfortunate that Mr. Raila Odinga has taken hostage his community. Instead of his scheme that he wanted the whole country to run away from elections, it has now become clear that it was a tribal scheme to hold only 4 counties not to vote. We welcome the decision of IEBC following the law, and I've always said that NASA were beneficiaries of the law by default, but they never prepared for this very important time. The law is very clear that where there is situations of violence organized as was done by the rebel movement, the law is clear that elections can be postponed. And I want to give you even more juicier part of that law. It says clearly that even as that election is being postponed, the rest of the elections will go on, tallying will continue, counting will be done, and IEBC can announce the final results even in the absence of votes from those areas, if in its totality the votes of that area does not change the ultimate arithmetic. And ladies and gentlemen, numbers do matter. Raila Odinga told us yesterday that every vote must count, and actually he was quoting Justice Njoki in a minority judgment in the Supreme Court that every vote must count. But we must also say that in the 4 counties where elections are being postponed, if there was going to be 100% turnout, including people, even voting by people who have passed on, there will only be 1.3 million votes. So if by the end of tonight or tomorrow, the results that come from across the country are such that minus the 1.3 million, it will not make a big difference on who wins the elections, IEBC is mandated by law to announce the presidential candidate that has won the elections. In conclusion, so that I allow my colleagues to say 1 or 2 things, we want to tell the national rebel movement of Raila Odinga that they have no place in elections of Kenya. The last time we checked, they were not part of the elections. Our previous organization called NASA was part of the elections. They have no moral authority to discuss officials of IEBC. They have no capacity, let alone moral authority, to determine the turnout percentage in Jubilee strongholds or purported former NASA strongholds. As a matter of fact, I've just come from Elgeyo Marakwet, where I can tell you I left when the turnout was already over 70%. And by the time of close of the vote, I have no doubt that all the polling stations in my county will record between 85 and 90% turnout. And that is the same in many other areas I've had. But it is not for me to announce. It is not for rebels like Junet to say anything, because they are completely incompetent and unschooled on matters of elections, because they've never held the elections of the rebel party. They've never held the election of the previous NASA coalition. They have no moral authority to talk about elections in this country. As a final statement, I want to request to the rest of the Kenyans that elections come and go. Politicians, you are here, you journalists, when we met with Wanjala, Junet, and Okoth, and Olwach. And as a matter of fact, they are taking tea on me. They are waiting for me to pay for their bill. So Kenyans must know one thing, that it is not for politicians. We don't fight. We have come here to state our position. They were here, they stated their position. But after this, we are going to take tea. We will laugh. They will tell us, you did so well today, beyond what we imagined. Our children go to the same schools. When we have problems, we assist each other. When we are in debt, we bail each other out. There should be no Kenyan who is going to die for any politician or will take this opportunity of elections to fight his neighbor, because it adds no value if Murkomen and Junet are sitting in this hotel here taking tea, and you are fighting out there for the sake of the same people. So the things I've said here are supposed to be universal. They are not supposed to affect citizen relationships out there. And you saw when Sakaja arrived and Jennifer here, everybody was running to hug them, yet they are in NASA side. So please, guys, Kenyans, forget about violence. Let's just discuss what are the legal issues, what elections took place, and let's move this country forward.